With respect to Wednesday night's meeting, to bring in the Ministers of Health and Mental Health and Addiction. The total amount allotted for that is $1,000, which is made up of 2 headsets and 1 working meal.
I don't understand, why do they need extra headsets? They already have headsets, and why do they need a meal? Because they would also have a per diem as well.
This Guy's Garage. Like and subscribe.
A housekeeping matter that I want to bring to your attention, and that is simply on the matter of study budgets. So you would have received from the clerk 2 study budgets for upcoming studies that I'm hoping that we can dispense with rather quickly. One is in connection with this very study that we're looking at now, and the amount requested for witness expenses, working meals, and headsets is $8,250. So if we can, it's been circulated, $8,250. As you know, colleagues, this is essentially a pro forma amount that probably will not reflect what will actually be spent, but it is simply to, if you will, allot those funds so that whatever expenses are required, whatever expenses are incurred in the conduct of this study will be available to us. So the first is in connection with this particular study, the Department of Health's regulatory changes on natural health products. Any discussion on that proposed budget? Dr. Ellis.
Sorry, Chair, you said $8,250, and do we have an idea? Will it be potentially 10% more or less, 20% more or less?
Yeah, that's the maximum it can be. That allows for an envelope of 4 witnesses to travel from Toronto, 1 from Quebec, 1 headset for each of the witnesses, and 1 working meal. Then that's the total amount that we're allotting. It will almost certainly be less. Any further questions or debate in connection with that study budget? All those in favor of adoption of the budget as presented, I see unanimity. The second budget is with respect to Wednesday night's meeting, to bring in the Ministers of Health and Mental Health and Addiction. The total amount allotted for that is $1,000, which is made up of 2 headsets and 1 working meal. Any questions? Again, we anticipate that the amount expended will be less, but it's necessary for us to block the funds. Yes, Dr. Ellis.
Chair, for that particular meeting, my understanding is the ministers will come, and I don't understand, why do they need extra headsets? They already have headsets, and why do they need a meal? Because they would also have a per diem as well.
And they should be here.
I'm advised that the ministers will be accompanied by officials who may be participating remotely.
I guess, Chair, not to be to belabor the point, but realistically, anybody who works for the current government of Canada would have already been allotted a headset, and for us to buy another one, to me, would seem duplicitous. And once again, that those folks, if they're at home, they don't need to have a meal because they're going to eat at home, and if they're here, then they're also then working in their own working environment. So why should we have any budget for this?
The meal is just for the
committee. We're just trying to cover our bases in the event that someone doesn't have a headset. As I said, these funds are being allocated, but will only be spent if necessary, and we doubt that it will be necessary, but that we're erring on the side of caution.
Sure.
Yes, Dr. Ellis.
You know what, I would certainly be happy to approve this if we can revisit this and understand exactly how much was spent with respect to that. If we can revisit that after the meeting, then I think it would make sense to understand. Again, I'll underscore the point. I don't want to be buying headsets twice for folks, or if people choose to work from home, they can eat their own peanut butter sandwich, and if they want to come to work, then they do work in Ottawa. So if we can revisit that budget after the meeting and understand exactly what the implications was thereof. And I realize fully that it's not a lot of money, but it's the actual point of it. So if we could do that, I would happily support it.
Happy to have a conversation after the meeting and include the clerk in it. Dr. Ellis? Any further discussion on the motion to approve the study budget for the appearance of the ministers on Wednesday? Seeing none, are we ready for the question? All those in favor of the adoption of the budget as presented? It's adopted. Thank you very much.